Welcome, I'm Yvonne Davis, and today is Sunday, October 25th, 2020. So today's video is titled Trump's Final Battle. And this weekend, I was focusing on the election and the full moon on October 31st. And then I wanted to look ahead to see what's coming after the election because of the fact that I'm predicting that there will probably be some kind of delays that occur and we won't know the answer right away. If you haven't seen that video, check it out. I can put a link above and also at the end of this video and down below in the description box and pinned to the top of the comments. So you can be sure to see that, okay? So anyway, those are the two most important dates we have coming up is the October 31st date and then the day of the election, obviously. But like I said, because of the alignments, it looks like we're probably going to have some kind of delay or obstacles. And for all I know, that may just be Trump refusing to concede, okay? The alignments don't tell us exactly how they will manifest, but they do show some kind of obstacles and delays. So that's why, you know, I've been making the predictions I've been making for quite a while now. So anyway, the next most interesting day made me think that I should title this Trump's Final Battle, and I'll explain why when I pull up the charts. But I just want to ask real quickly, if you're new to my channel or you haven't yet subscribed, please click on that red button there down there in the corner and subscribe to my channel. It helps tremendously to build this channel, build the community, and get the message out there. And I really appreciate it. And also, I thank you for clicking like on this video because, you know, with this free content, it's such a simple thing to do and it helps so much. You cannot even imagine how much it helps. It makes such a difference in terms of getting this video out so that more people will see it. Okay, and then just one final thing I want to say again is that I'm having a group Zoom session this coming Friday at 4:30 p.m. Mountain Time. And also I'm going to be holding an election day online party through Patreon. So if you're interested in either of those, then click on the link at the end of this video or down in the description box below to become a patron. And of course, as always, if you need a reading, there's a link down below in the description box. And if you have signed up for a workshop recently and haven't seen an email from me, please look in your junk mail. Sometimes they go in there, or email me at admin@yvonnedavis.com. All right, let's go look at those charts now. Pull that up and show you what's happening. All right, so this is set for November 6th. And, you know, I'm not sure that it'll be completely resolved by now. And plus the fact that we've got crazy stuff happening on Inauguration Day that we're going to have to deal with. But this was the next most interesting day in terms of astrological alignments following Election Day. And so here's what I see. Okay, the inner chart is Donald Trump's chart. He was born on June 14th, 1946 at 10:54 a.m. in Jamaica, New York. And it shows that he has a Leo ascendant at 29 degrees of Leo and a Gemini sun, and he's having a North Node return over his sun and North Node because he was born on a total full moon eclipse. And also that I use whole sign tropical Western astrology, which means every sign, every house starts at 0 degrees of the sign. That's the whole house system, okay? And then the first thing I want to show you happening in this chart is that Venus is in opposition to Mars retrograde right over his Chiron. And as I've said before, when Mars is retrograde, it weakens the masculine energy. And so when we see Venus opposite Mars, usually when you see Venus opposite Mars, it's not, that's not considered a favorable alignment. Now, if you were meeting someone for the first time, like in a romantic context, this kind of alignment could possibly bring some chemistry. Unfortunately, the relationship probably would not work out if two people met under this kind of alignment. They would always have problems, and then they'd probably eventually break up unless they work things out. So in general, it's not considered a favorable alignment, especially for people who have been in a relationship for a long time. They will be in the phase past the honeymoon, past the, chemistry. Now they're in the phase of having problems. So yeah, so a Venus opposition to Mars is not considered favorable. Plus the fact that it's right over his Chiron, which is a place of wounding. So, I've said before that Venus is probably the feminine energy. Could be a specific female, but in general, it's the feminine energy. Venus is in her own sign of Libra right now. So, or at least on November 6th. And so it will probably relate to something to do with the feminine energy or females or a particular female or relationships or possibly even money, because Venus also rules money. It's all the things a person cares about, all the things that matter to them that they're passionate about. So this is not a good alignment, and it's right over his Chiron. Now, Venus also rules Taurus, which is his 10th house. So then the energy comes back and we look again at the 10th house and we see Uranus retrograde conjunct the vertex in his 10th house. This, the whole issue with Uranus is that it's the planet of shock, surprises, and unpredictability, chaos, disruption. It turns things upside down. So I think it's going to turn his administration upside down. The whole thing, it's all turned upside down, meaning that the more and more I look at this, the more and more I think he's not going to win the election. It's really hard to predict with Uranus, and with the fact that Mercury is stationing retrograde square Saturn on the day of the election. It's really, really hard to predict. Under different circumstances, this election would be easy to predict, but astrologically, it's really, really hard. But the more I look at the alignments, the more and more I think it's going to go to Biden. But anyway, Uranus is conjunct the vertex in his 10th house. So I think that means an overturn of his election. Of his administration. It's an overturn of, like when you say turnover, that's what I'm seeing. And conjunct the vertex, it makes it fated, okay? And Lilith is right over his midheaven. So there's a lot of unhappy, angry people on this day. And he's one of them. And then Mercury rules the election, and it's making an exact square to Saturn on the morning of November 6th in Washington, D.C. So that exact alignment puts the brakes on, creates obstacles and delays, okay? And I think he's going to have something to do with that happening. And so the next thing, of course, is the fact that the nodes are right over his full moon eclipse, his natal full moon eclipse. And the North Node is part of the finger of God alignment in his chart. It forms this quincunx here, this blue line, pointing to the vertex, which is his fate in the 6th house of work. And you can see Pluto is almost exactly conjunct that now. So there's a lot of opposition going on here in his chart. And so I'm going to talk about that as well. And then Neptune in his 8th house of things related to deep psychological transformation, the subconscious, is squaring the nodes. And I think that this is his problem with not being able to face reality. All right, so that brings us around to the moon, which in this case plays an extremely important role, all the way from October 31st, when it's a full moon conjunct Uranus, all the way to November 6th. it's still playing an important role, because now it's in his 12th house of secrets and things hidden. And I think there's going to be some important secrets revealed. But this opposition to me says he's doing everything he can to hold on to power. He may even be bringing out some court cases, court filings, petitions to try to bring about recounts, especially with Mars in the 9th house of legal documents and court cases and politics. And then the moon here, this opposition, I think really, really, really says to me that he is trying to oppose the results. He is trying to contest the results. He's trying to petition for recounts. He's trying to hold on to power. He's the one who's creating the blockages and the delays. And, I mean, of course, it could just be that the situation itself would naturally bring this about if the results are not clear. If they are clear and it's in Biden's favor, then he's just trying to hold on to power. So what the moon's going to do here is it's going to, at 18 degrees here, it's going to first move into an opposition to Jupiter. And when the moon is in opposition to Jupiter, it's usually this feeling of righteousness. But also like this, I really seriously do think something secret and hidden is coming to light. And he's opposing that as well. He's trying to block that as well. And then it will move into an opposition of Pluto and his vertex. So this is really intense. And then a conjunction to his Saturn, his natal Saturn, and then to his natal Venus, and then an opposition to the transiting Saturn. And then finally it will square Mercury. And so it'll be part of that Mercury Saturn square. It'll form a T-square. So I'm actually going to pull up that chart real quick. So this is going to be the end of the day, 8:26 p.m. in Washington, D.C. So I described all the oppositions and conjunctions it's going to make. So, oh, I've got to sneeze. Okay, went away. Thank goodness. Okay. So yeah, by the end of the day, it's made all of those oppositions to Jupiter, Pluto, vertex, and Saturn. And now it's making an exact square to Mercury. So, I mean, this to me is definitely not a happy alignment. It's a T-square. The opposition of the moon and Saturn is kind of like a feeling of being depressed, being unloved, like nobody likes me. It's that kind of alignment, that feeling like, why me? Nobody likes me. I'm so depressed. That's what happens when you've got the moon opposite Saturn. It makes us feel sometimes melancholic, down and out. Life's too hard. That poor me kind of feeling. And then in a square to Mercury, again, it's trying to put a kibosh on information that's coming out, or delay that information or contest that information. So there's some kind of blockage and delay, and it has to do with the emotions here. So the information is not going to be clear. It's going to be blocked, obstructed, contested, and delayed. But the opposition of the moon in Saturn is a very unhappy feeling, okay? And I also think with the moon just coming off a full moon conjunct Uranus, now in his 12th house of things hidden and secrets revealed, that it will illuminate those secrets. It will illuminate those things that have been hidden and bring them out of the dark shadows of the closet, okay? All right, so that's it. And as I said, if you're new or haven't subscribed, please click on the red button down there and subscribe. And if you want to be a part of the group Zoom meetings on this Friday at 4:30 p.m. Mountain Time, or on election day, we're going to have a little online party on election day. That'll be really fun. And so if you want to join that, just click on the link at the end of this video or down below in the description box and become a patron. And of course, if you need a reading, there's always a link down there for that too. Okay, that's it for today, and I will see you again next time. Bye-bye.